All right, back at it. It's been way too long, but it's DJ Falling Up G with Best Friends Strangled Angles, David and Paul. Magic might not be happening for a while, so I should probably relegate those screen names, even though it's my channel name. But here to talk music again. The holidays were very busy, especially for me with crazy family stuff having the two kiddos this time around. So took a while to be able to fit this in. I think our last one, when I don't know when the date is. I'd have to look up when I like uploaded it to YouTube. I think it may have been like truly 2 months since we've done one of these because
Yeah,
I think it was in November when we were gonna do
yeah,
this originally, like late November, and then you got sick, and then we had to like basically skip all of December because my December was too busy. So here
right.
we are,
Yeah,
finally back at it for Every Kingdom by Ben Howard, which turns out when you sit on an album review for like 2 months. A little less. I'm feeling slightly less hyped about this review, but now that we've been catching up for a little while before we kick this off, I'm feeling ready and back into it, back excited for it.
cool. Yeah,
So
I'm
I'll be
excited.
excited. Then I like kind of have been forgetting, like, oh yeah, you didn't like. I don't actually know what you think of Ben Howard. We've never really talked about him much before,
Yeah,
uh, and yeah, we can. I'll tell you a little bit more about some of the stuff about him maybe after we do this review because like there'll be extra context after we figure out what we thought about this album together, that I can give you about some stuff. He's basically been a pretty big regular for me. Like he hasn't had like top album of the year for me at any point, and like but over the past 3-4 years he's been like pretty regular in my Spotify like top artist. So it's kind of fun to be finally digging into his music with you, and seeing what you think. And he'd be a fun one to do additional albums with too. Um, but Every Kingdom, his debut, definitely felt. Sometimes we have a debate with other artists, like where's the right place to start. I definitely feel like this is the right place to start with him, which is why I picked it first. Yeah, to start, I know we always give a little background on the artist, which in this case I have a little more background. So I'll jump in quick here and just say how I know Ben Howard, how I got to know him. For me, he was actually a find amongst several other bands in somewhat regular rotation for me. He like Kaylee got me into him. He had a bunch of songs that she put on her playlist that she would play like when we were first getting to know each other. And honestly, for a while, like she likes a lot of kind of indie folk stuff. That was like her bread and butter, especially like 8-9 years ago. I mean, there's like a little more diversified now, but that was definitely predominantly what was on a lot of her playlists. And a lot of it felt like background music to me at that point in life. But then
yeah,
kind of like grew into appreciating basically just stuff that was a little chiller in nature, a little easier to have on when you're having a conversation with friends and family that wasn't like so attention focused, like sort of like, oh, I really want to be active listening to this, like things like metalcore, where it's like, okay, kind of hard to have that on the background unless it's like with your friends who all like metalcore and you're playing Magic or whatever. Then it's like a kind of acceptable background music, but for most average settings, most people find it off-putting,
right.
things like that. So and then also just for times where it's like, oh, I don't want something to be revving me up right now. I want something to be chilling me out. Like this type of music has found its way much more into rotation. And I think basically like, I've also referred you to Florence and the Machine. Florence and the Machine and Ben Howard were like the two artists that when I started like getting more into that vibe of music, they kind of immediately caught my ear of stuff on her playlist that stood out more than the rest. And I did kind of begin with him. I'd heard a bunch of it on her playlist. I actually didn't even realize how much of it I already knew until I started going through his discography and kept being like, oh, I already do know the song. But it was like I didn't know the song names or what albums they were on or anything. Um, but this one, I started with it because of one particular standout song that will be when we talk about pretty quickly within the album review, that I was like, oh, I love that one. So I got to check out the artist who did it. And then it was like on this album. So it was where I started. And I'm glad I did because he's definitely a little bit of like an evolutionary artist. So like he has a bit of progression amongst his albums. So it's not that would make it hard to work back to this, but it's kind of fun to like see the origin of where he started as an artist and see kind of how he progressed. So yeah, this is why I started. And I did move on to his other works like pretty quickly after because I just got pretty into him for like a period of time a couple of years ago. So yeah, and you had, I think, no background, right? Did you know anything Ben Howard before this other
I
than maybe when I
yeah,
played
no,
stuff for you?
I had never heard of Ben Howard at all before
Okay.
you brought him up.
Yeah, he's out of the UK, so it's not like he's very pervasive in the US or
Gotcha.
anything. Um,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like, I'll just echo what you just said a little bit. Like, after listening to this album, I'm definitely interested in seeing what else he can do, what direction his music trajectory took, for sure. And like, it's interesting this genre. I mean, just like any genre, right? Like, for a while I wasn't as much into like folksy singer songwritery stuff. I was into like some like fringe stuff, like that was considered folk, but it was like out there, which is why I liked it. Like Fleet Foxes, for example,
Yeah,
especially
okay.
older stuff. They like
Yeah.
they were very weird, which is why I like what drew me to it. But yeah, like a lot of indie folk to me is extremely formulaic and boring as
It
hell.
definitely can be.
And so like it's not, but you could say that about just about any genre is what
Right.
I've grown to realize over the years. You know, you can find plenty of boring formulaic metalcore. You can find plenty of, like, you know, you name any genre, there's boring formulaic
Except
stuff
Christian rock. All genius.
yeah, Christian rock, yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, this has been, you know, spoiler alert, I like this album. Yeah, this is a great example of an artist that's doing interesting, cool things in the indie folk singer songwriter space. Yeah. So yeah.
All right, well, let's
No
jump in.
experience with it, but I've liked it.
Yeah, let's do our normal track by track. I'm excited to. I don't know. I've debated who I want to start off with this one, but I think I'll just start off with it because it's kind of like it starts off with the bang. I'll put it that way. So track one, Old Pine. Just first of all, it's a great track one for a number of reasons. One, because it's just such a great song, but two, it's like I feel like it kind of is the biggest embodiment of what the album ends up being as a whole. So it really sets the right tone, really shows you what he's all about, and kind of blends like what else is to come. It's a bit of a synthesis of a little bit of all of it, or at least the vast majority of it. But it starts off with just this like amazing acoustic picking that's really beautiful with just like his kind of voice cooing over the top, not singing any lyrics, just kind of oohing and eyeing, and it's just really pretty. And then it like kind of goes into a second like acoustic picking riff, if you can call it that. That's like more fast-paced and intricate, and then jumps in from there into what is kind of a little more like not particularly from their like unique song structure or anything, but like the long intro is pretty cool. It's kind of like verse chorus outro-y, I think. Maybe there's a third chorus. I should probably know that off the top of my head, but it's fairly typical after that. But I feel like the technicality of those acoustic licks, they're like really beautiful but also really technical, which I think is not always super easy to accomplish, and he does it throughout the entire album, as we will talk about. It's probably one of the main themes of the album is how good the acoustic guitar work is. It's like very flashy, but like also feels like chill and soothing somehow at the same time, and it's a pretty cool balance to have struck. And this song in particular, like, yeah, just this is the song that I heard. There was a time we were camping, and it was like one of the ones that it came on, and I just, for some reason, it will always take me back. Like, I feel like that's the perfect time to have this song on, is like out by a campfire, sitting and like have it on in the background. Like, it just fits the outdoors, both lyrically, and then something about acoustic guitar feels so like natural and connected to nature in some way too, and it's just like a person singing with an acoustic guitar. Like, I feel like it's connected with that, and then he's talking about nature in the song and stuff. So yeah, and the name of the song is obviously Old Pine. So you just get this experience of like just feeling like connected to nature. It's serene. It's I gotta find where my font color is to unhighlight this, but I'll just immediately make this known that this is one of my. Why did that not unhighlight it? Is this, what the heck? What am I doing wrong? But yeah, this is like definitely one of the highlights for me. Really good song.
It's
really good track one.
Highlight too, so you can go ahead and you can do that for mine too.
Obsessed with the intro, absolutely.
Yeah. No, I mean, I totally agree. This song, and we'll get to the later ones, but man, it almost spoiled me with how beautiful the acoustic guitar is. I mean, there's other great moments throughout the album, but this is some of the best in my opinion.
Yeah, it's probably the best, if we're being honest. There's other ones that like rival it, but I think this one.
There's one other one I'd say is maybe better, but we'll get to that. But yeah, I'm obsessed with the intro, and it's kind of funny because like I always think about like a lot of albums, especially like metalcore albums, a lot of them, like a good album will have just like sick intros that like, oh man, like 6 out of 10 of these songs just like banger riffs or whatever. And I feel like that's pretty true of this album, except
Yeah,
they're
it kind of is.
beautiful acoustic
Yeah.
riffs or licks or whatever you want to call them.
Yep.
Like the intros on this album just are fantastic. Like they
Yeah.
just draw you in right away. And it's not, acoustic guitar can be so simple and like it can be boring, or it can just be like slow and trying to be emotional, but like he achieves a ton of emotion with it, but also is technical and exciting and fast at times and slow at
Yep.
times. Like it's very dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and this song is a great showcase of that. It feels, I said it feels somber yet hopeful. I
Yeah.
feel like that kind of encompasses the vibe of a lot of these songs.
It
Like,
does. You're right. That's a good way of putting it. Somber. I hadn't thought of that word. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them, especially lyrically, like will lean into interesting, like introspective
Yep.
theming, but then end up positive, which is great, and it just gives
Yeah.
the album an overall great vibe listening to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I think you're putting it in a good way. He strikes a good balance, and this song is emblematic of it. I'm sure we'll mention it specifically with some other songs with the content, but like, it's pretty easy to be cheesy when you're trying to be uplifting or just give a positive vibe to your music. It's pretty easy to just like, if you're trying to counterbalance that to like have something just feel dark or brooding or moody or depressing, it's pretty hard to like artfully walk the line between the two and still be like, yeah, just have the lyrics feel genuine and like real human, somehow connected to human experience. And I think he's really walking that line. Like you're feeling overall, it's definitely, this song is a feel good song, I would say. And like it's just talking about kind of like simple human experience stuff. I feel like of like being outdoors and it's like, yeah,
Yep.
like it really transports me to like feeling like I'm sitting around a campfire on a summer evening. Like it just,
Yeah.
but it
I
doesn't
love
feel
that.
cheesy.
I think, like oddly enough, it transported me to like, this seems so random, but this is just where it took me. It transported me to like walking along the fucking Tittabawassee River.
Oh yeah, okay.
For some reason,
awesome.
it took me there. Just for like
That's so
reminded
cool.
me of that for some reason.
Yeah.
I was picturing like these specific trees. In this one
Yeah.
spot that's pretty and like, yeah, it just took me there. But it definitely, definitely gives you vibes of just being in nature and appreciating it and whatnot.
Yeah. I'm glad. I figured that would be. I can just immediately say that, spoil this one too. It's my prediction of song that we will both like. I was like, it can't not be Old Pine. Like, I don't know. It felt like
I think that's what I said too. Actually, I don't remember for sure.
I can try
I'm
to.
pretty sure that's also what I said.
Oops. Yeah, I can try to uncover yours. Yeah, it's like the obvious. Like I feel like Old Pine. Like there's other good stuff in the album, to be clear, and it's not like Old Pine is like the only song that's of this quality. But it's like, at the end of the day, for me, it's not actually the most played song on the album on Spotify. I don't know if you looked at Spotify plays at all.
I
it's
did.
not the most popular one.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
But it is. It's, to me, it's like the cornerstone kind of highlight of the album.
It seems really hard not to like this song.
Yeah.
Like for anyone.
Yeah.
It's just a genuinely great song. Yeah.
All right. Then track 2 continues with the tone. You want to start with that one? Your thoughts on Diamonds?
Yeah, sure. So yeah, this one, once again, love the main riff. It comes in strong with the guitar again, and that will be a consistent theme. Some it's stronger than others. I think this one's really strong.
Yep.
I also really like the wire brush drums in this song. It gives it almost like a Western or Southern feel. And
I didn't really notice that super well. I knew we'd talk. I was pretty sure you'd bring up any percussive elements, but
yeah. I mean, it's it's not like they're leaning in heavy into like a Western or something like that. But just whenever I hear wire brush drums, especially with acoustic guitar specifically, it gives me like a Southern or Western, old Western vibe. I feel like this song has a little bit of that, at least in the verses. Yeah. And then another thing I really like about the song, the last thing I'll say about it, is the verses are really kind of like darker in tone for me, and then the chorus is just like beautiful, joyous.
Yeah,
and it's just a really cool contrast. You have these like kind of moody wire brush drum, verses that are kind of dark feeling, and then
Yep.
just bursts into this super happy feeling
Super
chorus. And
bright. Yeah.
yeah, that contrast is really cool. So I like the song a lot.
Yeah, me too. It's a really solid one. It's like it's not a highlight, but it's not filler by any means. It's very solidly enjoyable. I like the verses more than the chorus. I would say is like a thing that's true. Like I love the verses, and the chorus I don't dislike, but it's like it definitely it's got a little like I don't know. There's not that many songs that this is true of, which maybe means it's a cooler thing than I'm giving it credit for. But yeah, like the chorus is it's almost like jarring in its contrast to the verses. It reminds me of
Yeah,
like Ra by Northlane. Did you ever listen to that one?
yeah,
If you, okay, yeah, like Ra has one of those choruses, like that just punches you in the mouth. You're like, where did this chorus come from? It's like
yeah,
it's a catchy melody, it's fun chord, but like it just comes out of nowhere in the song.
yeah. Oh, it feels like this chorus. I mean, this chorus on like a boring like pop acoustic version of this song, I would hate this chorus.
Yeah, that's an
But
interesting
like
thought
at
experiment.
least, and I understand it could be a bit jarring. I totally get that. But yeah, for me personally, it's like
A fun contrast. Yeah,
yeah, I really like the contrast. Yeah.
yeah, really solid song. Then track 3, we keep going with. I feel like at this point we're like seeing the roadmap. It's like all right, more of this style, but I feel like he sort of changes up the energy a little bit. Like I feel like it's the Wolves. It's track 3. I don't know if I said the name. So the Wolves. This song probably my favorite thing about it's really he does really fun stuff with his voice in this one. This like he has a good voice. We haven't like talked about that too much yet. His voice is it's maybe not like best voice you'll ever hear type of voice, but I feel like it fits the style he's going for incredibly well. Like it's just really soulful and feels really like authentic and yeah, fits acoustic guitar basically really well is what I'm trying to say. And then he does stuff with it that's like kind of like what I said about Jesse Rabordi and Hours. He's very willing to kind of use it as an instrument, quote unquote, like add depth to the songs with different ways of playing with his voice. Like I said in the intro to Old Pine, there's like the kind of cooing and oohing. In the Wolves, I feel like he does a lot of really cool stuff to add texture, and it feels really like it makes it feel like a more like playful, upbeat song. And then particularly like the second verse into second chorus, he kind of like ratchets up the energy relative to like that's probably of the like 3 tracks so far. The like second verse, second chorus of the Wolves is sort of like highest energy part of the album we've had so far. Or if
Yeah,
not, if in the mix with like the Old Pine kind of, there's a part in Old Pine where they kind of jam out a little bit too. But yeah, so I like this one a lot. Yeah, keeps the good energy going for me. Another really solid one.
yeah, I like this one too. Yeah, definitely the vocals are the standout on this one for sure. Yeah, I like that he almost gets a little like harsh vocals almost going in this
Yeah,
in the chorus. It
you're
gets
right.
pretty intense, and I love that because especially as you get into the album more, that's a big contrast. You know, there's a lot of songs on here that are he really doesn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
it's cool that he does it here. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't have a lot of other notes on this one. I just said like I did really enjoy the drums on this song. I'll say the drums aren't necessarily like a standout for me on this album, but I
No,
did
some
call them
songs
out
have
on
no
the,
drums. Yeah.
yeah, right, exactly. I called them out on the last song though. It was just
Yep.
I just nothing particular about the beat, but the wire brush was a good choice I think for that. And then on this one, I think they just really give the song a lot of momentum. They're just very upbeat,
Yeah.
fun, yeah, just high energy, and really gives the song a different feel than a lot of the other ones that don't have that type of drum beat.
Yep.
So
Yeah. It's
yeah,
definitely you'll and part of why I call it the energy in this song is because I think as we go through the rest of the songs, like overall, I think it's a definitely more a chill album than it is like an energy, like jamming out guy with acoustic guitar type album. So like the moments where he does jam out a little bit are pretty fun and stand out a bit, like after you've listened through it more.
yeah,
Um,
for sure. Oh,
yeah, and
you should go ahead and just do all my
yeah,
standouts
I
with
was gonna say yeah, we probably already said a number of these because a lot of them like are pretty applicable immediately upon talking about Old Pine, like mine
yeah,
are
and
too,
if
kind of.
you want to talk about the one you just
Yeah, I was gonna say like at this point we're 3 tracks in, and like it's pretty obvious like that this is what he's doing. That like I just think, and there's drums going on. Sometimes there's some bass going on. Like there's some other things too. But I think like 90+ % of the meat of the music is just a guy with his acoustic guitar, and it feels like yeah, it's just an album that's like, oh, I think he's pushing it to like as good as that can be, basically in my mind. Like There's
Yeah.
obviously a degree of limited depth when that's what you're really doing at the end of the day, and I'll talk a little bit about more about that as we go. But like he's doing it really well. Like his voice, he's playing with his voice. You know, he's pushing the acoustic guitar to like. I don't think I've listened to any more technical acoustic guitar work than this album.
It's really good.
So
It's really good. Yeah, no, it's funny that that bullet point is pretty much my last bullet point there. What if Ed Sheeran, but not Poppy and way better? It's really funny because this album, before I had listened to it, but we had picked it as a review, but I hadn't listened to it yet. And me and Anna were in the car, kind of sharing some music, and we got on this discussion of like, who do you think are your overrated artists? And we were tossing out different names. And at some point, I tossed out Ed Sheeran. I was like, I don't get the hype. Why is he as big as he is? He's just like a singer-songwriter that doesn't really do anything special. And you know, she was kind of on the other side of things. She was trying to show me songs that, like, oh, look at this Ed Sheeran song. I'm still not a huge fan. I don't like hate Ed Sheeran or anything. I just don't think he's anything special. And then like a few days later, I listened to this album and I'm like, because she actually asked afterwards, she's like, okay, well, show me a good version of like this style of music that's like better. And I'm like, well, I'm not well versed in this genre, so I don't really have something for you. And then literally a few days later, I was listening to this and I'm like, dude, this is it. This is what I want from this style of music.
Did you share any of it with her? Did you listen to any of it?
I have. Okay. And it's funny because she actually knew a couple of the songs.
Oh, okay.
She just hadn't listened to them in years. Yeah. But
Fun.
Yeah, she thinks it's cool. But yeah, this is what I want from like a dude and a guitar. Like this is great.
Yeah, same. It's good stuff. Yeah, and I have my top bullet point kind of lines with you, like good feeling music. I just feel like this is just something about. I kept coming back to this, and it feels a little corny to say, but I decided I was gonna say it because it just like I keep coming back. Like something about listening to this album. For me, like if I just go for a walk and like play it, it's like it feels almost like nourishing in a way. It just is like
I agree.
Uplifting.
Yeah, 100%. One song in particular that we haven't got to really,
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, so it's just 3 tracks in. This has been very true so far. It will continue. Just like the music feels good for your spirit, and that's really cool and not like particularly common.
Yeah. 100% agree.
Anything else you want to touch on, or you want to start the next one?
Yeah, no, I mean my other points are we pretty much already talked through them, so yeah, I can go to, let's see, we're at everything. Yeah, so this one, once again, surprise, surprise, gorgeous opening guitar.
Yeah.
I particularly like the harmonics. It's a really cool touch that he puts in the beginning of this song that he doesn't really use a lot of other places. Harmonics are something that's like, I actually gained an opinion on this from playing guitar because I learned to play harmonics and they're not as hard as I thought they were before I played guitar.
Interesting.
And then once I learned like what they were and how to use them, I started noticing in some music like the overuse of harmonics and how it like doesn't really fit sometimes. And like this song is like, for me, a perfect fit for harmonics in that intro. Do you know what I mean when I say harmonics?
Yes, yeah. The like high pitched like few notes together or whatever, right? Isn't that what that is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. And yeah, I think they're utilized so well in this song. And, and also really the fact that he doesn't overuse them in his music, which I have heard from other artists, and it just gets tired because there's way less notes that are actually harmonics, right? There's only like 4 frets that you can really play harmonics on.
Interesting. Okay, that I didn't know.
Yeah, so when you use them a ton, they start to get old because you're hearing the same notes over and over again. But he uses them here, and I don't think
I don't think there's any other songs that does it.
And it's just great. It's just a nice little tasty treat.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, this I think it's a nice song overall. It's not a huge standout to me, but like, love the intro, and I think this song overall is just like very relaxing, satisfying to listen to. The guitar playing is as peak as ever.
Yeah.
But yeah, like overall, the song structure, what the vocals are doing, what the chorus melody and stuff, I'm not like super captured by it.
Yeah.
But I'm happy to listen to it.
Yeah. This
That's
one
what
for
I'm.
me was definitely a grower. Like I feel like this was one of my like a song I would have identified as like least favorite ish for a while.
Oh wow. Okay.
Uh,
I never had that.
yeah, okay, and then I mean, it was like in the bottom half for sure for a while, and then it just the more I listened to the album, it was like one that kept getting stuck in my head, and then this is like over the course of a couple of years, and then like this time of going back, I knew like that's one that I'm looking forward to every time I listen to it, and it became like it started as like, can I put that in the mix of my highlights? It feels distinctly below everything else, and now it's like pretty much right up there in the mix. It's maybe a slight notch below the other ones that I have as highlights still, but like not a meaningful notch below enough to where I even ended up debating it. But like I said, it did take a while to kind of grow on. I think it's just so slow. But I think a few things that have grown on me and that I've really come to appreciate is one. I can't remember. Maybe you said this and I just missed it. But like this one, he does some really cool like tapping. That's like he's basically the percussion on this song. This song is just him and the guitar. I'm very confident of that. There's no other instruments, but he still like gets some like beat to it with like how he's
Oh, yeah.
hitting the guitar, and that's really cool. I like that. That just gives it like a little bit of rhythm. Um, but and then it just feels like lyrically, I think this one is really timeless and elegant in like the message and beautiful and just sort of purposeful. Like it feels like the message fits the vibe, fits the current time period of life. Like I don't know, just I love like every kingdom or every king like knows every kingdom
Yeah.
comes to an end. Like and
It is
everything.
very very fitting for
Yeah, it just
2026. Yeah.
yeah, and it's all and it's like comforting in a way, just knowing like the way things have happened in the past will be the way they continue to happen in some capacity, and like
Yep.
it's just really peaceful. And yeah, I think this is one that you called out like it's another really beautiful acoustic guitar song. It's like almost more noteworthy to talk about the ones that's less true of, which is like maybe only a couple, if any, really. But like
Yeah.
this one's definitely in the mix of all the ones that are like maybe Old Pine is sort of like absolute peak, but like
The majority
all
of
the
the
others
others
are like there's really
yeah.
none that are like that bad or whatever or boring with the acoustic guitar work, but this one's really good. I think it took me a while to realize it because it's so slow paced and such like a true ballad on an album that like compared to metalcore, right, like all of it kind of feels like ballads, but like this is a true ballad in the context of this album.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
once I kind of like adjusted to that and realized like, oh, it's slowing it down for this album, it's doing it purposefully, but the guitar work is still really beautiful and like still really technical, and like I feel like that almost in a way is impressive in the sense that it's like when you think about the parts that are most impressive with that he's doing with the acoustic guitar, they're usually like a little bit more upbeat parts, right? It's like him moving faster on the like kind of the pace is part of what makes it like seem so impressive and so fun, right? So the fact that in this song it does seem obvious that like, oh, he's still doing really sweet stuff on the acoustic guitar, especially with also like the tapping or whatever. I don't know if there's a technical term for like how he kind of drums on the like sounds like he's drumming on the guitar a little bit, with his thumb or whatever part of his hand.
Yeah.
Like he's also doing that. Like it's just cool that he's still like the like guitar work is still front and center, doing cool stuff even amidst a song that's this slow paced. So yeah, that's just one that really grew on me, and now it stands out to me. It's like definitely when I play through the album lately, I'm pretty hyped to get to track 4. So it's fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to spend more time with it. You're saying it's a grower, so I mean, I absolutely like the song. I
Yeah,
just don't.
right. I
I
mean,
wouldn't say I love it.
yeah, it
But
doesn't surprise. I mean, it literally was for probably like the first year and a half I listened. It like was one that was kind of like oh, that one's on. I don't pay close attention, but I don't know. I think a common theme I've said about some other album reviews is how it's just been in like this yearish. It's been like in a bit of a prolonged season of life for me, where like it's nice to have music that I feel like is really de-escalating in nature. Really like feels like it's bringing me down, like kind of connecting with my inner self a little more, like letting the emotion go, letting the anxiety of things go, like sort of just centering a little bit. And songs like this feel like they really do that, and that's something that I just connect with in life currently. So that's probably like giving it a bump too. So,
yeah,
and it
no, it
manages
makes
to
sense
do that while still having like really interesting instrumentation with that acoustic guitar. So
for sure. Yeah, the guitar is great. The message is cool. Yeah, I'm sold on it being a good song.
yeah. No, let me convince you even harder. Okay, then we get to Only Love. This
Yep.
one is the most played song. It's his most played song as an artist by
Yeah.
a lot. It has for half a billion plays practically.
It's
So
not surprising to me.
it's not surprising to you.
It's not surprising.
Not
That
surprising.
doesn't mean I like it, but it's not
Oh
surprising.
yeah, I mean yeah, I was gonna say this one for me is like maybe like I like this song to be clear. It doesn't feel like filler in the sense that it's not enjoyable, but it's probably my least favorite on the album up till this point, which is like funny that it's the one with like half a billion plays or whatever. It's just
Okay, well, I'm
lyric.
pretty sure I predicted that you would like this one more than me, actually.
Oh, interesting. I mean, there's
It's
parts I
probably
like.
it's probably also my least favorite on the album.
Okay, I don't think it's my least favorite on the album, so then you're probably right that I do like it more than you.
Okay.
I actually think the back half is pretty cool. It does some cool like little riff things that are maybe like less technically impressive, but still kind of fun in the context of like he's doing different like it's not like version 3.0, 4.0 of like sort of same things. Like it's a
Yeah.
little. I do think he's differentiating the songs enough, and he like has to in a way like this album could easily be, we'll talk about this probably eventually, like it could probably be more interesting and cooler in some ways with some low-hanging fruit in some aspects, but like also it could easily be like way worse if the songs are actually genuinely pretty diverse considering it's again like a guy with his acoustic guitar. It's pretty impressive that like everyone so far that we've talked about, and I think this one continues to fall in, is like doing something at least a little different than the others. Like this one in my opinion has like the lyrics that just feel the most pop hit y and
Yeah,
like
for sure, yeah.
and then like the yeah, I feel like the melody isn't anything special for me, but I do think yeah, like I said, there's kind of like the back half, like there's a sort of riff section at the end where like the energy is again ramped up a little bit, and I think that's kind of fun. So that part's
Yeah,
pretty good, but
that's definitely the back like third or half is definitely my favorite portion of the song when like the drums pick up where they weren't really doing much or they weren't even present. I can't remember,
yeah,
or if they were present, they were really quiet. Then they really pick up and the energy just increases. That's definitely the my favorite
yeah,
part of the
that's the
song.
best part.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. This song really kind of captures like it's tough because this album came out in 2011,
Hmm.
right? And I
Yeah.
think this is a song of 2011.
Okay,
Like
that's funny.
I think it really captures the like Mumford and Sons,
Mm.
Lumineers
Yeah,
sound in the chorus, especially,
that's pretty yeah legit. I think.
and definitely like a sound of the times. And honestly, for me, it's like this song is nothing special, and it's like bordering on annoying.
Okay.
Um, yeah, it's definitely my least favorite on the album. Like the like "Show Me Love" line, I'm just like, oh, this is just "Gimme Love" Ed Sheeran. It's the same thing. You
Oh,
just like
that's funny.
repeat "Show Me Love" a bunch of times. Ed Sheeran has a song "Gimme Love," and he repeats "Gimme Love" a bunch of times. And I'm just
That's
like,
funny.
I've already heard this song. I've
That's
already
hilarious. I
heard
didn't
like
know that.
7 versions of this song. I feel
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, the lyrics,
um,
it definitely feels like lyrically stands out as like very surface levelly, and like
yeah,
more cliche. But I guess to me, it's forgivable when it's surrounded by that. Like that's basically not true of any other song. So it's
yeah,
sort of like
absolutely.
I guess I sort of, and this is not like like saying you're not allowed to be critiquing it in the way that you are. It's more like I feel like I have an inherent degree to which a artist putting out an album like this, I'm kind of like you're allowed to do some like ear candy for some people, right? To like
For
grow
sure.
your audience, and it's not gonna like turn me off to it because having like one song that feels like easy ear candy is like actually probably a net benefit to an album for me still. It just gives it
Absolutely.
like again, it's like more dimension. It's still just like, all right, there's a song in here that's kind of cliche, but it's still catchy, and
Yep.
you know, is there's still some cool things going on in there.
Yeah, and for one, I'm not, I don't think this really takes away from the album as a whole. It's just my least favorite.
Hmm.
It's like the one song that I pretty consistently skip at this point. I'm just
Yeah,
not really don't really want to
that's
hear it.
fair. Yep.
Um, but I also like am not just trying to be a contrarian because it's the most popular.
Hmm.
Just want to put that out there. I formed my opinion before I saw where it was at in the
Yeah,
rankings. I just the first time I listened to it, I was instantly like, dude, this is like a conglomeration of Mumford and Sons, Lumineers, and Ed Sheeran's "Give Me Love." It's like
it's
it just
hilarious.
feels like I've heard this song
Yeah,
before.
that's really funny.
Yeah,
Well, and it's the biggest hit, so odds are you probably had, and you just kind of, it's just deep in the
yeah,
recesses of the data banks somewhere.
right,
Like, I
yeah.
mean, it has a half a billion plays.
It just yeah, yeah. For me, this song was like old the first time I listened to it.
That's very fair. This is definitely one that like I never got into and always felt like it was most run of the mill of like everything on the album, basically.
Yeah, and I might be coming across a bit harsh, but I guess it
No,
shows how much I like the other parts
yeah,
of the
and I think
album.
it's fair. I think what I'd like for
Yeah.
me, and a thing that maybe I have this, I don't know if I actually called this out in like strengths, or maybe that I think I meant to put this. Oh, I already talked about this thing that stands out. Great album for de-escalation. I don't. I guess it's like it stands out, yeah, again, in that it's like run of the mill, but I feel like this album is so nice to just like put on when you're chilling. It's like a great if you're looking just like for an album that like you can enjoy stuff that's in the background, but like it's very like low key and probably crowd pleasing type stuff. You can put it on and not feel like, oh, this song's on, like I gotta skip it or anything. Like
Oh,
it still just
absolutely,
fits in with the rest and
100%.
is part of the
Yeah.
same soundscape and vibe, even if it's like the melody is a bit like tired and the lyrics are very
Yeah,
repetitive and
I'm
nothing
I'm
special. So
speaking
it's
from a yeah I'm speaking from a active
more active
listening.
listening. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, but absolutely in the background the song would be totally fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
um,
I'm trying to
yeah.
think if there's anything.
I was gonna
Okay.
say you could
Yeah, I should
probably
highlight. Yeah, okay. My first strength is about the acoustic guitar riffs, and now at this point we've talked about half the album, so most of the stuff we've touched on in some form or fashion. But yeah, the music is. It would be. It's the acoustic guitar is obviously doing the heavy lifting of making the music feel technical, which is important in an album that's otherwise pretty simple. Um, and then maybe I'll highlight this one too because we've already been talking about this quite a bit. But the lyrics feel very relatable and down to earth. Other than this
yeah.
one song, yeah, this is the song where it feels like it's definitely like not trying to not be cliche, basically.
Right,
Or,
feels made for radio. Yeah,
yeah,
or streams, whatever the 2026 version of radio.
yeah. Is there a version? Yeah. Do you want me to highlight all of your strengths or any?
Yeah, you can go ahead. We've
Okay.
pretty much touched on them. The only one I'll call out is the last one.
Oh yeah, we
Um,
haven't talked about production at all, really.
yeah, I think this album
Interesting.
has amazing production.
I hadn't even thought about
I
that.
like, I've listened to not a ton of acoustic guitar stuff, but enough to hear this album and be like, the guitars sound fucking perfect.
Mm.
Like they sound really good, and I just think the mix is really good too. Like the vocals aren't too like some of these singer songwriter types.
Right.
Ed Sheeran, great
Yeah.
example. The vocals are
It's
too
all
much.
vocal. Yeah. It's
It's
like
it's all vocals, and the you can't hear the guitar as well, but it's really well mixed.
yeah.
The guitar sounds amazing. It's crisp. It's clean. His playing is super clean and precise. Like,
Yep.
and to me that does matter. And like, I noticed it listening to this album. I think it's really well executed. So
Yeah, that's a good call out. I don't think I ever have like explicitly thought about the production, but in some ways I think that means it's really good, right? Like there's nothing that feels frustrating or like poorly balanced. Pretty
yeah,
much in
yeah.
the
I
album.
often don't think about it unless it's bad.
Yeah.
But I think with acoustic guitar, it like really kind of shines a light on it because you can, at least from things I've heard, like you can pretty easily make acoustic guitar sound not as good as it would in
Hmm.
person.
Interesting.
Like,
I don't think
this
that's ever.
album, I feel like the acoustic guitar just sounds literally as good as any album I can think
Yeah.
of.
Maybe that's
It's,
part of why there's that aspect of it feeling so like organic and earthy. Like it does kind of sound like he's there playing next to you with the guitar. Like
yeah,
I would agree.
it's,
Like this is an album where the acoustic. It sounds like I could picture him being right next to me, and that's how it would sound with him like playing in the room. And that's definitely part of what makes it so easy to like connect with the emotion of it and like feel so organic.
yeah, for sure. You could probably highlight my weaknesses too at this point.
Okay.
Um, I don't know if I've totally touched on them both, but I just will now.
Yeah.
um, so yeah, so the first one I really haven't touched on, but I will. So singing in cursive.
Huh.
This is more of a minor critique.
Yeah,
I
don't
like
actually really know what you
I
mean.
like his vocals overall, but he has a little bit of this thing that a lot of like vocalists in this genre do, and the singing in cursive, I actually took that from Anna. That's the way she described it.
Yeah, that's a fun. Like I'm like, how have I not heard this before? It sounds clever way of saying
Yeah,
something, but I don't know exactly what you're gonna say yet.
it's like it's hard to describe. Like, I mean, the easiest way to do it would be like show you 3 or 4 other vocalists that are like kind of doing the same thing, and then I think you would get it. It's hard to like do it
Yeah.
right now over this call,
Are
but
there parts in specific songs where you know it's
uh,
really what he's doing?
it's kind of the overall vocals. It's
Okay.
not like, I mean, it's maybe, yeah, I don't have a great example of like a particular part or something, but it's just like there's like an inflection on his voice
Hmm.
that's like a little like slightly raspy or like slightly like um I don't know, maybe you won't resonate with this, but I feel like when I hear him sing, it's not a normal singing voice. Like he's putting a thing on it.
Hmm.
And I don't think it's a bad thing inherently. It's just he's putting a thing on it, and a lot of other artists do a similar thing. I could list you some artists.
Yeah.
Like Sleeping at Last does it like harder than this guy. I don't know if you know Sleeping at Last.
I know a little bit of their stuff.
But like
Yeah.
that's actually a great example. Like, if
Yeah.
you listen to Sleeping at Last vocals, like
Uh-huh.
he's kind of doing the same thing.
I can see maybe
Um,
a parallel, yeah.
and but there's a lot of like pop artists now, like current pop artists, which not current to 2011. So
Yeah,
maybe,
right.
maybe this guy spearheaded it. I don't know, but
I think he has a genuinely somewhat unique voice, but maybe
yeah,
maybe like some of what I'm taking as uniqueness, you're saying is singing in cursive, and those could be like two sides of the same coin a little bit. A couple things I'll
yeah,
say that are
you
not
know,
refutations, but they are facts that you may or may not have known. Is one, he's British, and two, I believe he was a pretty big smoker for a period, for like a chunk of his career. I think he's stopped
mm,
now because he had some health issues, but like I believe he was like for the first couple albums he was. So like I don't know, that could
which could
play into it a
contribute to
little
the
bit.
raspiness.
Yeah, but
Yeah, and you know, this is like it's almost less of a critique and more of a I was looking for stuff, you
yeah.
know.
Well,
And
and if you don't like it, you don't like it. I mean, it can be.
yeah,
It does. There's versions of things that are critiques and versions of things that are just like preferences. Then
yeah, it's more of a preference thing. That's really what it is at the end of the day. Like it's just I've heard this kind of like this type of inflection on voices
yeah,
enough to where it can be a bit grating to me at times. But just to be clear, overall I like the vocals.
yeah. I like his vocals. They're a highlight
There's
for
just
me
like certain
overall.
songs or
They feel
certain
really soulful to
times
me, but
where I'm not as big of a fan of it.
yeah, I'd be
Like, I
curious
mean,
if we like play
Only
through the
Love
album.
is a good example.
Yeah,
of
Only
where
Love
I'm
feels
not
just
really
like
a fan of the vocals that much.
yeah, but it's like hard to divorce it from like how repetitive the lyrics are and what the words are that's
Yeah,
being said and how
that's true.
obviously cliche it is. You know, it's sort of like
Right. Yeah.
yeah, like I that song to me, it's like maybe like I might be giving him a pass that he doesn't deserve or whatever, but like in the context of the album, it feels obvious that that song was like written to be the level of accessibility that it is.
Oh yeah. That yeah.
Yeah,
I think
like
that's
which
a fair assumption.
in
Yeah.
some ways makes it go from annoying to like slight like the song is still however annoying or perhaps disappointing or however you want to frame it that it is, but it's also like, oh well, you just like kind of wrote a cliche hit and were successful at it, so you know, props to you, you know, like you
Yeah.
did it. I don't know.
Right.
So,
You gotta get your name out somehow, right?
yeah,
You gotta right. Yeah. If you can write an accessible hit to get people to listen to your other music, then more power to you. You know.
right.
Yeah. I totally get that. It just not my favorite.
Yeah.
Thing,
Yep. Okay, so that's interesting. Yeah, I'll have to. I'd be curious if we like play the album together or something when we're
Yeah,
together in a
I
couple
could
weeks. I'd be
probably, like,
curious to hear
yeah,
like
show
to
you
see
some other
what some of the other
vocalists that
times
kind
are
of
that
do the
stand out.
same
Yeah.
type of inflection, and I think
Uh-huh.
you start to get what I'm getting at. Yeah. So I'll come prepared when we hang out. Yeah, my only other weakness I put was, different emotions and vibes are definitely explored on this album. Like,
Mhm.
I don't think every song sounds the same. I absolutely don't think that. However, I think I think the album could kind of level up if there was just one or two that really strayed from the pack.
Yeah.
And like just did something different. I'm not saying like a genre switch.
Right.
Just like do something different sonically. Whatever,
Yes.
however that would manifest. As I listen to this album, I feel myself wanting that. I feel myself
Yep.
like, man, it'd be nice if there was just, even if it was literally one song, just like a moment on the album. What if track 7
Yeah.
did this weird thing, or just did this exciting thing?
Mhm.
Not that there's no exciting moments on the album, there definitely are. But
Mhm.
yeah, I feel like
No,
it's missing just like a little something.
Yeah, I really resonate with that one, and I feel like I'll expand on it a little bit because I might feel like we might as well talk about a few more songs. At least I have like a couple of at least one of my weaknesses. I think I at least have one or two. I can't remember if I have a second or if it's just one big one because I think it's all kind of ties to a common theme here. But I'll talk about it maybe after we talk about a few more songs when we're like kind of all the way through a bit because might as well get through there. I feel like there's a little more of that stuff that's a little different than what we've talked about, so I want to like talk about that a little bit first. But then I definitely agree with that and want to expand on it a little bit.
Cool. Yeah. Do you want to? I mean, oh, so you want to expand on it later?
Yeah, after we talk through the
Okay.
rest of the songs, kind of basically.
Okay. Cool.
At least one. Let me check what my other ones are.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm monopolizing the talking here. I was like, oh, this seems like a good time.
No,
to
you're
get
good.
to
Yeah,
weaknesses.
yeah. And I'll start with this one. My second one is sort of my next weakness is sort of like a longer-winded way of diving deep into this, but it's a little more of like a nuanced take on it. But yeah, like this is in terms of a weakness being like things that potentially could be better. If there was a theoretical other version of this album that did slightly different things or whatever, like was expanded. Like this album is a bit of a one-trick pony. Like I think if you're not in love with his voice, like he said, or if the melodies aren't resonating with you, or the acoustic guitar is something that doesn't grab you, like that's the sphere we're working in here. You're not gonna be like, but I love like drums or whatever, so therefore this album's gonna, or I like you kind of have one thing to work with the album, and so definitely could miss you entirely if you're not into that thing, obviously. And then yeah, like I said, once we talk through the rest of the songs, I'll kind of say what is my like biggest version of a weakness takeaway that I think is like the true thing that limits the album for me. It's a little more in depth than that. So
cool. Yeah, so we kind of similar. My second one to your first one, relatively similar.
Yeah.
And I, to be clear again, like I don't think every song sounds the same, and I do think
I don't either. But
this album definitely like the acoustic guitar does grab you. Like,
yeah, it carries it for sure.
Thing about it, I just wish it did something just a little bit, just sprinkle a little something else in there.
Right. Like there's a huge spectrum between bad and good and like bad and great, right? And like we're very clearly not saying it's bad. It's like in there somewhere, very much closer. It's certainly good. It's just how good is it? And one of the limitations of trying to get it from good to great is that it's like it doesn't have a ton of depth, I guess. Yeah. And like I said, I'll expand a little bit more on like the full version of that once we've talked through all the rest of the songs, because might as well wait till I have all of them to reference. But
cool.
All right, you want to do the next one? I feel like you probably like this one.
Sure. Yeah, you're right. I'm pretty sure I put this as my predicted. You wouldn't think I would like this one as much.
Oh,
as
really? Okay, well, yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't.
I mean, you know what? Honestly, it's kind of funny because like, Only Love, least favorite on the album. I put it as you would like it more because it's my least favorite. This one, my favorite on the album. So I was like,
okay, this is your favorite. Nice. Okay.
This is my favorite. Yeah. So I was like, he probably won't.
Beats out Old Pine. Alrighty.
Yeah. Yeah. No, this. Yeah.
I wondered if Old Pine would be like, as like it may just be like the number one for you, like it is for me, or if one would edge it out.
I love Old Pine. I do. I love Old Pine, but yeah, as you can see by my first sentence in this, God, I love this fucking song. Every time this song comes on, I'm just like, oh, yes. Like it's really good, dude.
So it's one of my highlights too. Yeah.
The opening is just like riveting immediately.
Yeah, I love the opening.
It's enticing. You just want to dig into it, and I love it.
Stank face.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll get to that. Yeah, the high vocals give a little bit more Sleeping at Last vibes than any other song, I think, on this one in particular. And actually, here I'm saying it as a compliment, even though before I was
Whoa, double standard.
Yeah.
This is good Sleeping at Last. The other one was bad Sleeping at Last.
It's funny because I tossed out Sleeping at Last.
Yeah, I know. I was pretty sure you liked it.
Yeah, I was just trying to say, like, there are multiple artists who do this thing.
Right, and it can be a little obnoxious. Yeah, it's not always a net positive, basically.
It's almost like almost like a country twang, but a different version.
Yeah.
Like, there's definitely a swath of artists that are like putting this thing on their voice.
Yeah.
And he does it too. But anyways, yeah, the main guitar riff is
it's so good.
It's addicting. And yeah, for me, I said stank face worthy because that's me. When this song comes on, I'm just like, You know,
That's so
it
fun.
just it's almost like a metal riff or something.
Yeah,
It
it
just
is
it's
so
that
good.
level of like grooviness, and I'm just into it.
It
It's
could be
probably
if you
like
just
my
did electric
favorite.
guitar and had a bass in the background. It probably could be a literal riff in a
Yeah,
metalcore song.
seriously, absolutely. And then like, and then on top of it, it's like not only did this song already have probably the my favorite riff to open a
Yeah,
song
it's the riff
and
that
a
I
good
think competes with
chorus,
Old Pines
then it
like
just
beginning.
also has this amazing crescendo in the bridge that is like super tense.
Yeah,
It just keeps building and
I love
building, and
those lyrics too in that part.
yeah, and the lyrics are great, and then it just releases so satisfyingly back into the chorus. Yeah, I mean, I really can't say enough good things about this song. Like, it's definitely my favorite on the album. Love it.
Yeah, it's so good. I feel it's like you said. I mean, you said it in more words and more descriptive than I did. Obviously, in my bullet point. But yeah, the guitar is amazing. The energy. This is like peak energy song of the album, in my opinion. Sort of like
Yeah,
Old Pine brings some energy, but it's overall more of a chill song. But it has like kind of a little part of it where it gets a little jammy, But like, and then the Wolves has a part that's kind of like that. But this song, I feel like, is really the like peak, rocking out with just an acoustic guitar and singing and like, yeah, getting the heart rate up. It's fun
oh yeah,
and
for sure.
great lyrics. Yeah, really like this one.
Yeah, yeah. The lyrics are really, kind of introspective and not necessarily like fully positive. I mean, I think they're
Yeah.
positive at the end of the day, but
Mhm.
it's definitely like shows some of that lyrical depth that it
Mhm.
actually gets you thinking and feeling. So yeah,
Yeah.
love every aspect of the song, honestly.
Cool. Glad you liked that one. The next one, keep your head up. Did I start the fear? No, I think I told you to do the fear.
Yeah,
So yeah, keep your head up. Also, this is the third most played on the album and makes a ton of sense. It's pretty like high on the accessibility scale, but just feels like a song that another artist could do the exact song and it just would come off as like really like pandering, I guess, to like a specific type of audience or overly cliche, but like the way he does it, it just feels connected to the human experience. The lyrics feel authentic in a way that like for some reason I could picture it being me as the narrator in this song and like it being meaningful. Like this particularly the second verse has like a description of like running into your friend and it just like feels really like gripping. It just feels like have we had like that person who notices us and knew where like what we went through and now can see that we're back and it's just such a moment of like delight for you and your friend like knowing you made it like through something. Like I don't it feels so wholesome, the song, and also just put on top of it like great, not like the most compelling melody of all time, but like clearly great accessible melody and enough fun acoustic work in the background. It's like this is not number one top acoustic guitar work song on the album, might not even be like top five, maybe it's just kind of in the mix in like that middle tier, but like it all just comes together and I feel like this song is like a greater than the sum of its parts type song for me where it's just really good. And it's this and like Old Pine, the fear is just like more fast paced and almost riveting in a way that is like not necessarily representative of the full album, but it totally fits on the album. But I feel like Keep Your Head Up and like Old Pine are like the really like embody just the like vibe of what this album brings and just feeling like soul food a little bit. So yeah,
yeah,
love
dude.
this one.
I mean, so this is my last highlight. So our highlights are pretty similar.
Feels like an
But
album with pretty clear like top songs. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, no, I love this song. I think you said it better than I could have. Like, putting it as like, oh, if another band did this song, like, I think if I agree. Like, I think if another band did this song, it could sound easily cliche, boring. It's very simple, but I think the execution is just so perfect. Just the chorus, yeah, it's super simple. The vocals, the lyrics are like basic,
Hmm.
but they're sung so passionately and with the gang vocals like in the like chorus background in the chorus, and just I don't know, it just hits.
Yeah. It really
It just nailed
nails
it.
it.
I think they just they took this simple song, simple concept lyrically, but they just nailed the emotion. They just nailed the execution, the instrumentation, everything. Like, yeah, I agree. It's not like one of the most intense guitar songs. There's not like a bunch of guitar highlights or whatever, but this song just feels so damn good.
Yeah.
I literally can't help but feeling good with this song. And I put in my little description here, like there was definitely a couple days where I was, doing chores or like walking and this song comes on and it's just like, man, it just really, I don't know, it just kicked me in the ass, kind of just like makes me feel good and feel motivated. And that's great. There's a lot of the music I listen to I couldn't say that about. So it feels really good. The only other thing, this is more of just a novel thing, but I just called out that I really feel like the background gang vocals in the chorus really sound like Justin Vernon, which is Bon Iver.
Bon Iver, interesting. Huh.
It just, for some reason, like I literally thought it was a feature at first. I was like, I had to look it up. I was like, is this a Justin Vernon feature? It's not. It just really sounded like him to me.
Huh. I'll have to listen to it again. Yeah. No, that's fun. It's a fun little Easter egg that's like that it stood out to you in that way.
Yeah.
Interesting. He does gang
like
vocals
the Justin
on
Vernon,
the
like,
Wolves too.
Deeper voice, because obviously he does the like falsetto stuff. But when he does his more whole chest voice, it sounds like that. But I love this song. It's great. I'm like addicted to this song.
Yeah, I feel like I said, everything for me was like a grower, and at first I was like, I don't think I can quite put it in with the other three, because like I don't think it actually like really stands up, and then I decided that like I've gotten into it enough that it has kind of fit in with these other three. But this album feels like it has a pretty clear top three, and I was very curious if like anything would like surprise me and eke its way in. But I was like, I at the end of the day I would have been quite surprised if like these three weren't three of your highlights, because they're just so like the things I like about them I was pretty sure you'd appreciate. Keep Your Head Up was maybe the one that I was like, is it like maybe it wouldn't land with you or something, because I could just see, like I was thinking about it, I was like, is it like, because it's definitely like less going on, I guess, in a way, like from a technicality and creativity standpoint. But like I think that's where I was like, song structure, melody aren't like overly creative, but like the lyrics and it just really packs a punch, leaves an impression. So I always, it's fun to like hear that it did that with you too. There was Magic tournaments where a couple, when we would go to that at Great Oaks Tavern, when I would like have times to take walks, this was a song that I would like play to just try to like get my head screwed on straight, just feel like grounded and like I'm okay. I lost. Life like goes on, I can just have fun playing the next match or whatever.
Yeah, I like it. It seems perfect for that.
Yeah. Fun. Okay. Well then, we'll keep moving on. Black Flies. I'll just kick off with this one. The funny Easter egg about Black Flies is actually, this song, like I put on a playlist of mine before that, when I referenced how like Old Pine was the song that first got me into them. That's technically true in the sense that I heard Old Pine and it really stuck with me, and then I knew I wanted to listen to the album, and then I got really into it, and it was the first song I really loved. But like I found out that I'd put Black Flies on like my casual faves playlist like a couple of years before, and it was just on there because like that one had come up years before with Kaylee, and I thought it was like a fun, moody song. The song's actually like a little bit of a curveball at this point, but it definitely is sort of like a what I would say is a bit of a tone switch for the ending of the album that is not inherently bad, I wouldn't say, but like I do think there's a departure from basically kind of like the first 7 songs for these last 3 in a way that's like, it is nice in the sense that it's doing something a little different now. Like this one is just much slower paced, very clearly moody. This is definitely like the song that is the most like dark in tone and lyrical content. Like it's not really like this one. If the whole album was this, we wouldn't be talking about the way we are about the album, right? Like this one definitely stands apart a little bit in its atmosphere and mood. And it's like it's not. I don't like dislike this song. I think it's a bit slow and long drawn out for my taste. It's sort of like some of the things we said about some of the Falling Up songs and Hours, I think apply here. Like I kind of like appreciate what's going on here, but it just feels like it takes too long to do it, and it doesn't need to be 6.5 minutes long. Just like if the song was like 4-minute song, I think it would just be better.
Yep.
So,
That's
uh,
literally exactly what I have in my notes here. Yeah,
yeah,
it seriously reminded me of that album, The Falling Up. Yeah, I think you just shave 2 or 3 minutes off this song, and I'm a lot happier with it.
yeah,
Yeah, like just like you, I don't dislike it, and I understand. Yeah, it's a nice transition into these last few songs of like, okay, we just did the Fear and Keep Your Head Up are like two pretty
really feel good
fast
songs. Yep,
paced, intense, good, and
yep,
then Black Flies comes in. It's like, okay, we're gonna move into this moodier zone now,
yep,
but yeah, and I like the like gradual increase in volume that kind of happens
yeah.
in the song. That's kind of cool. Before, like, I mean, then the end goes back to quiet, which I almost wish the end was just
That
do
kind of
that gradual increase and then just like explode and be done instead of like
yeah.
gradual increase, then go back to quiet and go on for another like 2.5 minutes or whatever.
Right, yeah, I think, and actually we didn't mention it, but that's the Wolves kind of has an outro too. That's like the Wolves is actually only like 3 minutes of a song, and then there's kind of like a 2 minute like outro that's kind of fun, but it doesn't need to be 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But it's pretty forgivable with that song because it's like pretty big change up from like none of the other songs up to this point have had anything like that really, other than that. That's like that much of like an intro outro. Like Old Pine obviously has sections that are like instrumental, but they're all pretty technical and moving the song type sections instead of just like truly like we're just gonna do this for 2 minutes type section. But this song, yeah, it feels like literally if like the outro was take like 75 to 80% of the outro off time wise, just doesn't need it. Like it feels like it accomplishes what it wants to do with like that ramp up, like you said, of like the building moody energy into the section that's like a little bit of like a riff with like I don't know. Is there like bass or electric guitar almost underlying it a little bit? It's like has a
Yeah.
little more it like louder at least, like you said. There's like a part where and it's like him just kind of doing the like ooze over it, and it's pretty like
Mhm.
pretty atmospheric. Like I like that build to that part and I like that part, but then it's like I don't like it enough to want to like then listen to 2 minutes of like nothing kind
Right.
of.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Yeah. It just it feels like the song should have probably like, climaxed there and then just capped off. But it just
yeah,
like kind of keeps going for seems like why, you know?
yep,
Yeah. But yeah, overall, yeah, don't like totally dislike the song. Just yeah, I feel like we could trim it up a
yeah,
bit.
yeah. It's funny that like that was the one that I put on my playlist first, like in 20.
Yeah.
I don't know when it would have been. It was before we lived in Wisconsin. Would have been like 2018 or something. Um, I think now that and Only Love are probably my bottom two on the album. But I think Black Flies is my least favorite song on the album because it's so long.
I think those are also my bottom two, but I'm
Okay.
still putting Only
Yeah,
Love.
yeah, that's very fair.
Just it's like actively grating to me.
Yeah,
So
I know that's very fair.
yeah.
All right, on to Gracious. What are your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, this one comes back with a gorgeous fucking intro.
Yeah, I
Again.
do love the intro of this one.
Yeah, love the intro on this one. Very nice chorus too. The song as a whole is not doing anything like too crazy. I like it overall. I think the chorus is good. I do really like the like highlight portion of this, other than the intro. The intro is beautiful, but I also like towards the end where like the bass.
Yeah, there's a bass. And you're like, wait, has there been bass on this album yet?
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I don't think there has been, or if there has, it's been super flying under the radar. But yeah, the bass comes in heavy.
Yeah, there's
and
a bass
it's
center stage part of this song,
yeah,
and it's fun.
and
Yeah,
it's really cool hearing it alongside the acoustic instrumental. Like that, yeah, that whole portion is super sweet. That to the end is like it's just so pretty and somber. Again, I'll bring back that word. Like I feel like
yeah,
it gives that vibe, but like yeah, it's beautiful. I love it. So like yeah, the like bass song, I'm not like it's not like my favorite, but
yeah.
the beginning and the end
Intro and
are so
outro are the best
good
parts. Yeah,
that I
yeah,
do end up liking this song a fair bit.
yeah. I think that's a good summary. It's sort of like a variation of a song that doesn't quite deliver on how good it seems like it might end up being when you're first like starting it off, like that beginning, and then it's like, but it's very chill, very it's like sort of Everything 2.0, and it's not the same song as ever, but it's like a return to like where they were at vibe wise and energy wise with everything a little bit. Like, okay, we're slowing it way down. It's like another true ballad. Like Black Flies wasn't really a true ballad because it was like moody and built up to like a little bit of like a, I hesitate to say it's like not high energy, but a section where it's like loud, like you said, louder. That's the best way to describe it. Like this, like the loud, section of that song. Whereas this one is just like slow, uh, yeah, kind of like, yeah, we're in this chill zone, cool lyrics again. But I feel like and like low key melody. Like I think that's one of the things that's a little different about
Yeah.
this one that is like kind of cool in a way. Is like it's definitely not going for a big melody. I mean, like it's his voice volume level is consistently like low on this one. Like it's very clearly like he's keeping the energy level intentionally low. We know he can ramp it up when he wants to. There's songs where he goes from quiet to loud. There's songs where he goes where it's consistently higher energy and consistently pretty loud. This is one where it's like, oh yeah, he's just keeping it quiet. And I think this is one that like I might appreciate more if like maybe if the album was structured a little differently, or if it didn't end this exact way with like a lot of low energy, 3 consecutive songs kind of in the like slower, lower energy space. Which is then spoiler alert for Promise. Promise is actually the longest song on the album. It's longer than Black Flies, and it's
Yeah.
even more I think egregious than Black Flies in like there's just like the beginning I think is like a minute of nothing basically, which is just like why?
Yeah.
I mean it just
Yeah.
really diminishes the listenability. The thing with Promise is like there's like a 2 minute chunk of it that's like amazing in my opinion, where I love the like picking he's doing acoustically. It's gorgeous and beautiful. Like this song somehow is like the fourth most played song on the album. It has 157 million plays. Like there's clearly
Wow.
something really cool. Yeah, it's like Only Love, then Old Pie, and then Keep Your Head Up, which like totally makes sense that those would be like the top three, and then this one. Um, so
Yeah, definitely the intro is too long, and like the song overall is probably a little too long, but I do like this song.
yeah,
I
it's
feel
really
like
good. It has good parts. I just
yeah,
wish that
I feel
it's
like it works as a closer. That I think the main
works as a
like
closer.
I think the main finger picking guitar part like is very satisfying.
Yeah,
I
it
think
is.
it's
Yeah.
really nice, as consistent with the album. Like
Mm-hmm.
another great guitar part. Um, I'll just point out like I wrote it down, and it's hard without like listening to it
Mm-hmm.
to like really convey it through words. But the part like right around 3 minutes, like right around the halfway point,
Uh-huh.
there's like just this melodic resolution when he goes, and maybe just maybe
Yes.
I'll come home.
Yep. That part is when
It's
amazing.
perfect.
It's
It's
so
just
yeah.
that the resolution of that is just like, oh, it's just like,
And that's when the acoustic picking starts, and then it just
yeah,
goes into that section,
yeah.
right?
And
And
then
it's
then it
gorgeous.
really
Yes.
picks up after that. The whole
Yep.
sequence after that is just fantastic, and
Yep.
I like yeah. This song I wouldn't call one of my favorites, but like that portion of it is one of my favorite moments.
I know it's almost like a frustrating version of like if you trimmed the fat, it could be a top highlight. I think basically if like and like
Yeah,
you just took off all the because like it's just hard to sit down and listen to a 6 minute song when 6.5 minute song when like I don't know 2.5 minutes of it is like basically nothing or whatever like it not even like Old Pine intro like something going on, but it's not like the core of the song. Like it's just kind of nothing. I think the first minute is like maybe like some wave noises or whatever, but it's like really gradually like
not gonna lie, when I've listened to this several times, I've literally got out my phone and skipped to like 50 seconds
yeah,
because yeah, it feels like a waste of my time.
it
I'm
isn't
like,
even
why is
anything.
this here?
Yeah, it's so
I
it's
just want to
frustrating.
get to the good parts.
Yeah, it builds a mood.
Yeah.
And now that we've talked about everything, I mean, we might be like not even fully doing justice how good that one part is, but I think we have. But it gets me now to like circle back to some of what I think is like the core weakness of the album, that we've already talked around a little bit. Oh actually, so I guess I did make this its own bullet point too. So I actually have a bullet point that's just like the final 3 songs depart from the consistent energy and tone and feel like a big change up. And I don't like you said like it would be nice to have more change ups, and I agree with that simultaneously to thinking that this is poorly executed here on the album. Like these
I agree.
songs could have just been placed differently to make a better flow. Like you could take the same
Yeah.
set 10 tracks and I think order it differently. And Promise should be the end, no matter what I think. But like Gracious and Black Flies don't have to be like the two immediately preceding it. You don't have to go from like and like yeah, having it go like Only Love, The Fear, Keep Your Head Up is like three consecutive like pretty big energy. You know, driving like the
Yeah, I
I
feel
don't
like
know uplifting kind of vibes and then all of a sudden it's like whoa, really ratchet it down. Like suddenly have the three songs that do the most like dragging things out all together in a row and low energy kind of
yeah,
yeah.
totally.
It's
I
just
feel like you put Black Flies like track 3.
yeah,
Like
something like
you
that.
do
Yep.
you do a couple like pretty nice
Mhm.
like standard Ben Howard, like
Mhm. Yep.
pretty relatively fast paced, nice. And you got this like Western kind of darker feel starting in
Mhm.
Diamonds, and then
Oh
you
yeah.
go into Black Flies, and then you
Yeah.
go into the Wolves. I feel like that would flow better
Yeah.
than
Yep.
at the
Yeah,
end you
somewhere
just
else. Yep.
you stick these like 3 longer,
Yep.
slower ones, yeah, in a row. It just, yeah, it is too much. I agree.
Yeah, even I almost feel like if it went like The Fear, Keep Your Head Up into Promise as like last three, that would be like such a banger ending. And then no
Dude,
matter what, you gotta like trim that first minute of Promise. And I think
imagine if those were the last 3. Yeah, I'd be like, dude, the end of this album is fucking sick.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so that's
yeah,
just sort of like however however artists choose to order their track, like the tracks on an album. I'm sure he had a reason for doing it this way, and I just disagree with that reason and think it would be more impactful if he'd done it differently. And then the bigger picture point that like kind of ties that together with a couple other things we've talked about. This is like it's like sort of like 10 things in one type of weakness, but I think that it really is sort of like a when you're trying to rate an album in my mind, like going through our rating scale, which I have down here of like, okay, if it's a 4-star, it's like likely in the of running for like an album of the year type album. This is like 4-star album rating for me personally could mean different things for different people, but like I kind of treat that as like not that many albums get a 4, like almost none get a 5, but it's still like 4 is very hard to achieve. It's like a better than average. Um, so like it doesn't. This is something that doesn't mean this album's bad. All these things I'm about to say basically is my caveat, but like I think it's holding it back from being like a truly great album, which would put it at like a 4 level. Is just there's a number of things that all sort of make it just like feel like it lacks depth and feel like it could have just pushed the envelope a little bit to get from like it's very clearly like good at doing the thing it's doing, but it's a bit of a one trick pony, so it's sort of like how to flesh that out. How could he have fleshed that out and like made it so that it still stands out as truly great, even with the fact that like there's sort of relatively few things going on, like in terms of few instruments are being used. That's sort of like one variable here that just gives it a little less dimension. He's doing really well with what he is using, but like there's sort of inherently less dimension because of that. There's also relatively low variability across the songs. I know I've said like the songs are differentiated, and I do believe that, but there's like you said, there's not like it could really use like an 11th track that's something totally different.
yeah,
Maybe something
yeah.
really spunky. I don't know. There's something like some emotion that he
Yeah,
didn't go for,
yeah.
etc.
It can really go in a lot of different directions. Just
Yeah,
something
like it's only 10 songs. Like if it was
stands
11 or
out.
12 and they fit the vibe, but like did something a little different, that would really help take it from good to great because it just isn't a ton of content. It is
Yeah,
50 minutes long. It's not like it's super short time wise, but like probably 5 of those minutes could be cut out from like 2 minutes from Promise and two
right.
minutes from
Yeah,
Black Flies and 1 minute from the outro of the Wolves.
yeah, yeah.
And it would be like literally better because of that.
Right.
And then yeah, like the lyrics are pretty consistent. That's actually like a strength overall. Like, but he does enough variation with the lyrics. I don't think that's like a weakness per se, but it's just sort of like all of these variables aligning. That's like it just could be a deeper album and have a bit more to it without losing any of the strengths. Basically, like again, I just the thing in my head is like, what if there was literally like an 11th track that like broke up that ending a little bit more, like one more like Black Flies into Gracious into one more song that's not like quite as much energy as The Fear, but something that is a little bit of a curveball. I don't know, maybe that shouldn't be at like right before Promise or whatever. Who cares where the song is placed on the album? But like
Yeah,
something that just changes it up a bit, gives it a bit more depth. You still
but
have
imagine.
everything that we already have, but now we have a little more and something a little different. Like that would really take it from
Yeah,
really good to truly a great album for me. Like the highlights are really, really high. And that inherently, like I think this is like one of those albums. I feel like we had a slight disagreement on this, maybe just in terms of how much we liked the top highlights, but this album has some parallels to me for like the Maple Syrup album, the Backseat Lovers, like When We Were Friends, where like the top three is just so good that like it can't really be a bad album, because like very few albums have as good of a top three as this album has, in my opinion. So like it's kind of like, how much does the rest of the album like deliver on that and keep it fun and interesting and deep, for lack of a better word. And I think it doesn't totally fail, it just doesn't do as much as it could to like really flesh out and feel like a really robust listening experience at the end of the day. So yeah,
dude, it's kind of crazy. I our opinions line up pretty often, right? Obviously we've seen that we often largely agree. Obviously we differ on certain things and have given different ratings, but they're usually like relatively close. I think this is the most I've just like unanimously agreed with you on everything. Album. I feel like I feel the exact same way that you do about this album.
Like, that's fun though. I'm glad, because that means you enjoyed it. Like, it's got some really great highlights for you. That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, like, I'm glad that you agree with me. So, but like, that's fun.
Right.
This was one that I definitely felt like we never listened to music like this that much together, or talk about music like this. So I was like, I'm pretty sure you're gonna like it, because I like it a lot, and there's interesting stuff going on. But I was like, I don't know where liking it is what that's really gonna mean for you, right? Like, it might mean like, oh, it was fun enough, but like, I'm probably not gonna revisit it. But like, yeah, it's fun to hear some of the songs made an impression on you like they did for me.
Definitely, and I'm definitely gonna revisit it now. Like, exactly like you said, I think there's three particular standouts, and I think like going forward, you know, like for me, Only Love and Black Flies are straight up skips at this point.
Yeah.
But like, having two skips on an album, like if the highs are high enough, it could still be a good album. I think, and I think that's the case here. I think the highs are so high that like, even a lot of times I could see myself in the future revisiting this and going like, you know, Old Pine, Diamonds maybe, and then like The Fear, Keep Your Head Up, I'm done. Yeah. And I'm gonna be super happy to do that.
Yeah,
like
that's great.
I'm gonna be super happy to revisit those portions of this album. Yeah, I'm going to do it. Like, it's I love them. They're great. They absolutely made an impression on me. I love the last song too. It just as we said,
it's just so hard to listen to 6.5 minutes
really
of it
cool parts. So I'm sure I'll revisit it at some point.
Yeah. So wait, would you say Diamonds is your pretty concise number 4?
I think it probably is my number 4. It's almost Promise.
I debated so hard on what to put as like the song I thought you'd like more than me, and Diamonds was like in the running, but I felt like at the end of it, I even put a comment. This is the first time I made these predictions to be fun, and I was like, can't be a freaking wimp about it, right? Just guess a freaking song. But this time I was like, this was just particularly hard, because so many of the songs are like kind of good in similar ways. So sort of guessing like what's the little nuance that will stand out to you. And the funny thing is, I didn't even catch those wire brush drums and Diamonds. Like, now that you mention it, I immediately hear it in my head what you're talking about. I just like, that part of the song didn't stand out to me. But that was one of the ones, and I think the ones that I was thinking in the running for that, I put The Wolves. I thought maybe like my thought process there was, it's just like has a fun energy section that I knew there was a little bit more upbeat drumming in that song, and like I just know that.
I mean, The Wolves is good too.
Right, it's in the mix of like good songs, but
I'm certainly not skipping The Wolves if I'm listening to it. Like, I like
the home,
I was just if I'm thinking about my top ones, I think I like Diamonds a little more. But and again, like,
I debated Black Flies a little, because I was like, will Paul like the moodiness? And then I was like, no, I don't think he's gonna be able to overcome how long and slow it is.
Like, but seriously, Promise, if it was just like trimmed up a little bit in the right ways,
it could be
it would have been a highlight for me. Like, it's really close, because I just the coolest parts are so good.
It's the most frustrating song in that regard. It's the song that feels like a miss in like really fixable ways, that I'm like, how did like someone who just like produced the album not say like, dude, this song should just be like 4 minutes long? The song I predicted that I would like more than you was Keep Your Head Up, because I was kind of nervous that like the simplicity would maybe like prevent it from resonating as much with you.
I'm
glad I was wrong on that. I think we were like pretty much we were basically aligned on the top three. Like I think I rank them as Old Pine number one, but I think that's and then the Fear and Keep Your Head Up like are like basically tied for number two. But like like in the same like tier or whatever, if we were doing tier like quality as Old Pine. But I think Old Pine gets the bump for like the nostalgia of like how I discovered it, and it just like feelings like it pretty much always brings me back to like when Kaylee and I would camp.
Old Pine's a beautiful song.
Yeah,
it's beautiful. Yeah, I love it. And I'm the same as you, just flipped. The Fear is
your Old Pine, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Old Pine and Keep Your Head Up are like on the same level.
Yeah, and then I guessed a random thing you'd emphasize that like also it's funny because like I think when I was doing my review and like I said last night I sat down and like I'd already written like probably half of what's on here at least, but then I was like I want to sit down and actually like really make sure I've said everything I want to say. So I listened to the whole album again yesterday and then sat down at it. And then this section I was like trying to think of something that like I normally try to think of like something you would say and emphasize that's maybe a little different than what I would say and emphasize, but I was like I don't know, I feel like Paul's like can't think of much that he would like really hit on that like I won't also hit on, so I ended up basically saying that you would agree that the album's not particularly dynamic. And yeah, that will be something that you highlight as a weakness. But I predicted like that might hurt your rating a bit more than mine. So my final rating was 3.5 with again basically like I see this as a bit of a parallel with like the I just keep calling it the Maple Syrup album because the Maple Syrup's my Old Pine on that album of like the Backseat Lovers album where it's like the top three of like Kill Me Girl, Maple Syrup, and now I can't even think off the top of my head of what my third. Oh, for me it was Sinking Ship, but I think you didn't like that one quite as much as me, so that wasn't quite a clear. But you like track one more than me a little bit. Watch your mouth. But that album for me was like just those top three are like in solid rotation enough that like I come back to the album and listen to at least 2 or 3 other songs too.
So I think I gave that album 3 stars.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I do. I'm glad that I'm remembering that now because I gave this one 3.5, and I do feel like I like this one more.
Meaningfully, more.
Yeah. I was close. I was between 3 and 3.5, but I was just like, the ones that I like so much.
I do think this is a closer to a 3 than a 4 type album. Like it's maybe like a 3.4 for me or something.
Yeah, if there was no halves, it would be getting a 3 for sure. But I think it is a 3.5 for me. I genuinely very, very much enjoy a lot of this album. There's just parts of it I just don't care about. Like I said, there's a couple skips on it, but yeah. I mean, there's plenty of albums that have at least.
Right, that doesn't make you inherently bad. Yeah. I think the thing for me that I'm finding I'm hard to find the perfect words to describe, but I think there's something to be said for an album that like where even the skips are ones that are like really unobjectionable to like ultimately listen through if you put on the album in the back. Like I think there's some albums that it's like, oh, I like 8 out of the 10 songs on this album, so I'm gonna put it on while I'm hanging out with my friends, and when song 4 comes on, I'm gonna go skip it. Like those other albums where you're like, I can just put all 10 of these songs on. Like I'm not gonna be remotely tempted to skip any of them because when it's on in the background, I actually don't care that Black Flies has like 2 minutes too long.
Exactly,
it
gets still absorbed. Fine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's like the like weaknesses of the couple songs that are the weakest songs are very much smoothed over when it's like true background music, and I think background music is the thing that is like I value it like to some degree. It's not like what drives my rating, but like if it can be enjoyable background music, that's like a nice little bonus. Okay, wait, I forget what was. Okay, you predicted you would like the Fear more.
Yeah, I just said you did.
Yeah, which you
did. I
was
like, well, this one's like absolutely my favorite. So
yeah, pretty easy pick. Yeah, so we were both right about Old Pine, but I was 0 for 2 with the other two this time. I feel like I've been. Well, no, I don't think I actually did that good the other time too. On Hot Mulligan, I think I predicted one that you liked. No, I can't remember. The predictions are fun, but I haven't been that successful.
They're fun, but they're tough.
I know they aren't that easy actually.
Yeah, I can't remember what I said for this part. Let's see.
Yeah, you said David will mention the atmosphere
and the feeling the album creates.
Yeah. I
feel like that was a pretty easy win there.
Pretty good. Yeah, I mean, so that's the thing. It's but I think I will say part of what makes it a little hard with this album compared to like Hot Mulligan, for example, the album we did last. It's like definitely has less dimension. It's like fewer songs, fewer variation between the songs. It's more clearly doing like one genre and then kind of doing slight variations within that genre. So there is less to say about it, I think inherently.
Yeah.
And that's not like a bad thing per se. Obviously, I think you and I both seek out generally like higher complexity music when we're active listening to stuff. Like that's what makes it interesting, right? But like he strikes a really good balance of it's obviously really accessible, but he's still putting technicality and putting interesting things in that are fun. And then of course like the lyrics are good, the emotion's good, atmosphere is good. So he still does a lot right here.
He strikes a good balance between engaging like technicality, but also just like catchiness, like heartful, thoughtful lyrics. Like, yeah, and when it hits, on those 3 or 4 songs that are your favorites, when that like combination comes together perfectly, it's like, man, he's really got something special here.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It really
the highs are so high. Yeah,
special on those like 3 or 4 songs.
Yeah. All right. Well, I can't remember. Maybe we decided this on our last album stream, or maybe we decided it over text. I can't remember. But we know what we're reviewing next already because we took so long. So I've started listening to it. I'm like 5 or 6 listens in. We're doing the Hands That Thieve by Streetlight Manifesto. It's a lot to digest.
I actually haven't even listened to it recently, but I mean, I've listened to this album probably, I don't know, at least 50 plus times. I mean, I've heard it a lot. But I'm gonna listen to it again before the review.
Yeah, it's definitely very different than most other things I've ever listened to. So it's fun so far. But I feel like I gotta give a lot more to it still.
I don't think you've really done this genre.
Yeah.
So
definitely not.
It'll be interesting.
Yep. Yeah, so that's what we're doing next.
And then we're getting some
Yeah. Are you so? I mean, my just life's so crazy right now. It'll be a little while. It probably won't be just like 2 weeks before we do another album review. And if you haven't listened to it all, we probably want to give it some time. So do you want to wait till after that review to pick our next thing then?
Yeah, if it's gonna be some time,
might as well wait.
I think we might as well wait. Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
I do want to dive back into this one because
Okay. I have some things that I would be excited to do on deck. Just so you're aware, I know we've had a sort of methodology we've had a variable methodology, but just so you know, I have some things in the
unless you really want to pick it now. I mean,
no, let's just wait because I feel like if it's gonna be a bit, I don't want to like pick something and then maybe like I'd rather just wait and sort of see what I'm feeling like at that point in time.
That sounds good to me.
And then I'd rather like, I feel like it's kind of tricky to have 2 in the queue too a little bit. Like I feel like now it'll be easier for me to listen to this one because I was kind of like, I'd listen to this one a few times and be like, well, I should listen to Ben Howard again just to keep it fresh in my mind and make sure I keep remembering the things I want to say. So it's like simpler to just have one lined up than to like know there's another one you already feel like you should be listening to. Like because if you're anything like me, like a thing I had this time around that's sort of like I don't think I want to repeat unless there's like a good reason to, is like basically having 2 on deck to review that I want to be listening to, but also having like other stuff I'm into, and it just feels like, oh my gosh, like that's a lot to try to be like listening to when you're busy in life, right? Like, so I think having like 1 on deck to review that's like, okay, I'm intentionally listening to that to learn it and everything, and then you can be listening to other stuff on the side is like a little bit easier to at least mentally manage than having like 2 albums that I feel like I'm supposed to be really paying attention to these albums right now. So
yeah,
we can wait.
I'm with you.
Cool. Okay. Well, that was a blast as usual. Thanks anyone. Thanks all of you Zero folks for tuning in.
What?
No, thanks to Paul for tuning in. And yeah, well, hopefully it'll be like more like 3-4 weeks till next time instead of 7-8. But everybody should listen to Ben Howard. Really like Ben Howard, and he has another album that I already really know I want to do with you, especially given how this review went.
Okay. I was gonna say
his second album, the next album.
Refrain from moving forward.
I mean, it's kind of up to you. I would say.
I am very curious about his other music.
Okay, I was gonna say. I mean, that could influence what we do next. Like, I would say I have a high degree of interest in doing his next one as a review with you because of you liked the first one and like it would just be like fun to obviously have it be like an intentional thing. And like frankly, this is where I think. If you already know, like, I think I want to listen to more Ben Howard, like, right away, basically, or whatever, then, like, we could just line that up as the next one and just know that's where you're going, and then you could know, like, oh, if that's what I feel like listening to, it's kind of working towards another review.
It's just naturally there.
So, up to you if that's how you're feeling.
I mean, I would be down. I'm definitely interested in more Ben Howard, but also, like, I'll defer to you if there's something you're like, well, I really want to do this. because
There's a couple things I want to do, but I don't feel like it has to be next. So, like, if
Okay.
you are itching to listen to more Ben Howard, I don't want to put you off it because I also love Ben Howard. So,
I'm quite interested.
okay, well, let's. I mean, if
Honestly,
that's
I almost already did, but I was like, I'll wait for
okay.
now.
Well, hey,
Just
let's. And
keep
you
on
know
this
Streetlight
topic.
Manifesto. I assume you want to give it some listens, especially now that I've
Yeah.
listened to it. It's not like a one listen through, I remembered everything type of deal here.
Right. Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah.
But if you're like, oh, I'd like to keep the Ben Howard going on the side, like I'm happy to just tee this up and have it be like what we tentatively plan as the next thing, because
Yeah.
then I'll
Okay.
listen to it more.
Let's do it.
All right, cool. I'm not going to be disappointed by that. Fun stuff.
Yeah, I'm excited.
All right.
It's definitely, just one of those artists. You hear the high highs, and you're like, man, I really want to
Yeah.
see where this is gonna go.
Yep. I'll say review after review tentatively after Streetlight Manifesto. That's fun. This is the first time we've had one that one of us did, and then it was like, okay, we gotta do another one fast.
Yeah, yeah. No, I like it.
I'm happy about it.
Little series.
Yeah. All right. Well, cool. Then that's what we got in the pipeline for Paul. Thanks for listening, Paul. Now you know what to. Now the audience, Paul, knows what's coming down the pipeline from DJ Falling, FG, and Strangled Angles.
Yep.
All right. Well, it's getting late, so I'll end the stream, but it's been fun. See you next time. Signing off.